Good afternoon. It's great to be here with everyone this afternoon. My name's Kerry Newman. I'm with Permata Bangsa International School. Our school is in Semarang, Indonesia. It began in December 1999 as a full immersion school, from kindergarten to primary 1. It now specializes in 2 areas of education. As a bilingual immersion program, English-Indonesian, our school provides a school-based, subject matter-driven program that aims for academic achievement, additive bilingualism and biliteracy, and cognitive pluralism through increased intercultural competence. We incorporate high language intensity. For example, in our early primary program, 90% of the subject material is introduced through the English medium. And in secondary, 70% of the subject matter is delivered through English medium. In providing a dual language education for Indonesian students from kindergarten to senior high school, they're able to benefit by maintaining their student nationality and culture, and at the same time, to have tertiary opportunities provided at either Indonesian or foreign universities. In 2009, our local teachers came to our director asking if they could provide them with an opportunity to do Cambridge International examinations, specifically the professional teaching qualification. He worked closely with them to create a program structure wherein they could achieve their goal whilst at the same time maintaining responsibility for the program financially. This was accomplished making the CIE professional qualification a sustainable feature of our overall in-house teacher training program. We're looking forward to continuing this piece at the community level. The Learning and Teaching Center provides Indonesian national teachers opportunities for continual development in areas of bilingual education, dual language delivery, and many other aspects of pedagogy and good practice. As a Cambridge International ID 128, our ID, we had the opportunity to be the first to be involved in awarding national teachers a diploma in teacher training. Those 7 candidates that were awarded that diploma, the Indonesians, are now looking forward to being the first to complete the certificate for the certificate for teachers in bilingual education. So for me, teaching is at the heart of a learner-friendly environment, and keeping our teachers well supported and creating time for professional collaboration and development sessions has been the single most challenging aspect of managing bilingual education. Not only are our students learning content in a second language, but our teachers are teaching in a second language. A learner-friendly classroom at Permata Bangsa is one that accommodates the English language learner. We all need time to use language at PBI. Time. That's the second biggest challenge. And there are 3 areas we look at in creating learner-friendly classrooms. Especially in curriculum planning, we use content-based language education, pedagogy and practice, and Clio models of classroom instruction, especially teacher-learner interaction. The Indonesian ministry has very strict guidelines that we're required to adhere to in order to pass accreditation. The next 3 slides utilize curriculum progression charts we've created to assist in routine planning, so that we can always account for our time to the ministry, as our colleague was talking about earlier here. These are the documents. This is our preschool or early years progression leading to formal education or key stage 1 learning. We carefully research and select materials that can be carefully sequenced, monitored, assessed, and evaluated. The titles of the courseware and the time allocations are on these planning charts in order to ensure curricular integrity is maintained. These documents can also be reorganized to reflect the Indonesian national standard, which makes it easy when we have to account for student learning prior to the SD examination, SM on SMP. This is our primary or key 1 or 2 progression. We rely heavily on the UK curriculum to set content in both our primary and secondary program. And many of the titles listed here reflect that. This has been mainly due to the fact that the CIE qualifications are recognized worldwide. Our students have been accepted directly from our program into universities in Brazil, Canada, US, Europe, Singapore, New Zealand, and Australia, with our diploma plus CIE, IGCSEs, or IGCSE and AS A-level qualifications. This is very, very new in Indonesia, where generally, if they come out of a bilingual program, students are required to do what's called foundation. Our program has managed to get through that because we do organize the curriculum so that we're delivering both the Indonesian and the international content. Content-based language education, also subject-driven, has been embedded in our curriculum structure through project blocks and includes, for example, CLIO, Content and Language Integrated Learning Programs, sheltered second language instruction in English as a second language, as well as Language for Academic Purpose, EAP, all of which requires a highly trained collaborative teaching team of professionals. Most students enter our school with little, if any, English, and so learner-friendly environments at PB begin in the classroom with our content teachers. Learner-friendly classrooms means that teachers have to adapt subject-specific methods so as to accommodate the additional language focus. In our case, English is the target language. This does not mean that the classroom teacher adopts the role of a language teacher, but by providing ongoing professional development in areas like content language integrated learning, we build teachers' capacity to open doors on alternative ways of using methodologies which can be rewarding to both they and their learners. Our content teachers work in collaboration with our English department so as to maintain a whole school approach in both content and language learning. We know that motivation is a key to learning. Our students and teachers continually report to us that they prefer the Clio classroom environment and believe they learn the content and language more thoroughly. Student assessment and achievement results supports this as well. For us, clearly, there have been benefits, both cognitive and motivational, which have enhanced content learning and the position of the content teacher. A challenging area for our language teachers is to achieve appropriate levels of authenticity in the classroom. They work collaboratively with content teachers during the project block to provide students the opportunity to use the language in authentic ways. Successful language learning has been achieved when learners have the opportunity to receive instruction and at the same time experience real-life situation in which they can acquire the language more naturalistically. The language classroom is still a fundamental part of our learners' core program, especially to understand the nuts and bolts of language, grammar, vocabulary, and so on. But there is rarely enough time in the classroom for the language teacher to go beyond this essential part of learning, of the learning process. So creating a project block provides learners the time to build things with these nuts and bolts, to put into practice the things that they've learned in theory on paper. Clio offers our learners a friendly, natural situation for language development which builds on the other forms of learning that have taken place during structured curriculum time. This natural use of language really boosts their learners' motivation towards learning languages, and they love it. So do the teachers. The Clio Culture, has been forming within our teacher team for 3 or 4 years now. Mostly this is due to the fact that it's very difficult in Indonesia to develop their English language to an academically proficient level. We forget about them way too often, but they do well in a learner-friendly situation and classroom. In personal conversations with our teachers, it always seems to come out that they don't feel confident about their own use of the English language. When language learning takes place alongside of Clio, then the learner is exposed to two complementary experiences, one of which involves primarily language learning, and the other language acquisition. For example, one of the grammar features of this semester's science fair project was the conditional if. And in preparation, the teachers met collaboratively to support individual language development in this area. The teachers believe they acquire language more effectively in this setting than they had in the past, and really look forward to those meetings. This video you're going to see is taken during Project Block. This is a grade 1 class, and they will eventually produce a science fair project drawing on the animals unit. We have had great success using a product called Science A to Z, and you will see that the teacher has a projectable up on her whiteboard. The students are approximately halfway through their semester, so they are still learning content about animals. In this jigsaw, the teacher provides the students with individual question cards. She sent them into their groups to work out the answer, and they are now presenting their findings. The audio quality is not all that good, but I think that the important thing that you will be able to hear is talking. Lots of communication between learner-learner, learner-teacher, and teacher-teacher. At one point, the teacher decides to wait patiently because one of the little grade 1 students is making notes for her team, and she's getting phonetic support from another learner in her group. It is what we hope happens during these learning blocks. So the teacher provides wait time for that group. She continues on, but she does not disturb the phonological support taking place again. They are learning a lot, and they love it, and the teachers love it. They probably learn more language in these kind of sessions than they do at any other time of the day. It does take some explaining to parents because they think the children are just having too much fun. I hope that this presentation has provided you a case example of how our school attempts to create learner-friendly classrooms by accommodating our English language learners, students, and teachers, and how creating a learner-friendly environment for us involves curriculum planning, pedagogy and good practice, and Clio models of classroom instruction especially teacher-learning interaction. It's not simply education in an additional language. It is education through an additional language based on connected pedagogies and the use of contextual methodologies. It requires good planning and ongoing professional support for all teachers. And on their behalf, at this time, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Cambridge International Examinations for their commitment, not just for providing support in setting up managing bilingual programs, but especially for their teacher support and the professional qualifications for teachers teaching in bilingual education. Thank you very much.